we've all run into this on Facebook, on Instagram, talking with our families, and everybody's got that one uncle who believes everything he reads on the internet. Um, you know, my my personal strategy with that is to ask, why do you believe that? Does it make sense? What's the source on that? Where did it come from? If you're believing a story that exists on one website, well, why is the rest of the media ignoring it? Right? They would at least address it to say that it's false, right? Like there's a certain element in our society that believes that there's an enormous conspiracy. Um, I can tell you, having worked in newsrooms all over the United States, big newsrooms, small newsrooms, national newsrooms, international newsrooms, there is no conspiracy. Journalists are strictly trying to tell you a story. There are certainly ways that the news gets skewed based on a lot of different interests, but the ultimate issue is they're trying to tell you the truth. Now, if your media diet, so to speak, is telling you something that you're not going to find anywhere else, that's a reason to be skeptical. That's not a reason to believe that you're in the know. But that's one of the things that disinformers prey on, is that we live in a complicated, confusing world, and people are looking for simple answers. They're looking for things that explain things that confuse them in the most simple forms. Bumper stickers are a very popular form of communication, but they're not a good way to understand policy. And those bumper sticker explanations that you find in disinformation, they're all out to get you. That you're in the know. You're one of the smart ones who gets it. Those are the reassurances that disinformers use to make their message more effective. Well, it's hard to get through to people who identify with being in the know. They cling closely to their. Sometimes it's a political alliance, sometimes it's a social alliance that makes them feel like an important insider. It's hard to get through to them, but ultimately, it's the people who are sort of in the middle, the ones who kind of listen to the news with half an ear. Those are the people who can still be influenced. A friend of mine back in Washington used to say, there's the 20% rule in American politics. 20% of the public will vote for a Republican just because they're a Republican. You could put a dog up for office, and 20% of the public will vote for them based on whether they're a Democrat or a Republican. Right? But it's that 60% in the middle who are still able to be reached, still able to be influenced. And those are the people that we need to remind, be skeptical, right? Not everything you read on the internet is true. Not everything that gets told over and over again is believable simply because it's been repeated. We have to educate, and starting from the time that they're children now, because my kid has 2 iPads and an iPhone, and he just turned 9 years old, so he spends a lot of time on the internet already, and I've got to as a parent, it's my job to help him sort of negotiate his way through, and that's something that we as a society need to do, top to bottom, not just children, adults. We need to learn to read critically, to watch critically. That's before you even get into the world of deep fakes, which now you can't even really trust your eyes. And how are we going to combat that? I have no idea. But it is most definitely an important task, and one that as a society we need to address. We've got to build in that critical thinking, that healthy skepticism, but not let it turn into cynicism, where people throw up their hands and say, everybody's lying, I can trust no one, I'm going to tune out. We need to have an intelligent, engaged society to make our democracies work.